Hello, everybody.
Calling the case of the people of the state of California versus Columbus Allen, case 1222451. Mr. Allen is appearing via Zoom from CDCR. Ms. Kelly is here to represent him. Ms. Vasquez for the people. This is on again to see if the court has jurisdiction to do anything in regards to the resentencing while there's an appeal pending. Also in the interim, Mr. Allen filed a motion that it's an improper motion to bring at this time in this court, asking for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction against CDR. And he has counsel, so. Did you get a copy of that, Ms. Kelly?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead. What do you know about his appeal at this point?
Well, Ms. Vasquez and I were able to confer just before court, and Mr. Allen, I'm sure will correct me. Can we make sure he can hear and?
Can you hear Mr. Allen?
So we can't.
Take off mute. All right. Mr. Allen is still on mute.
That's it. Unmute microphone. Can you hear us?
We can hear you now.
I apologize for that.
No problem.
Thank you, Your Honor. Like I said, Mr. Allen could correct me if I am wrong. We believe that all of the cases were filed in the 5th District Court of Appeal have been closed. Any of those cases which went up to the California Supreme Court by petition for review have also been concluded. He does have still 3 federal cases pending that are open. 2 of them are prisoner civil rights suits, and one of them is a petition for writ of habeas corpus directed at the plea alleging it was coerced. And then finally, I believe still open is the case that the court mentioned regarding the temporary restraining order.
Well, there's no case open. There was just a motion filed in
Ah.
here. As far as I know.
All of these cases that I mentioned are all the same case number. They all concern the same underlying conviction. We're here on 1172.75 proceedings. I don't know what to tell the court. We haven't briefed whether or not there's jurisdiction. I know that the prosecution is willing to run the sentence choice concurrent choice that the court has under 1172.75. And that I don't know what to say.
Excuse me, Judge, can I speak, please?
Just 1 second, Mr. Allen. I'm going to hear from Ms. Vasquez and then we'll hear from you.
As Ms. Kelly indicated, we are willing to run it concurrent LWOP sentence. So as far as we know, outside of striking the B prior, there is nothing else at issue under 1172.75.
All right. You don't believe the court has discretion to do anything else other than what you have stated?
Under 1172.75, correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Allen.
The last time I appeared, you mentioned the fact that you didn't have discretion because of remitter. And so when I started researching the rules, I've seen all of these rules that require the clerk to send me a copy of the order or the remitter or something to let me know what's going on. And I was able to file the petition for review to the Supreme Court, but I never actually got anything from any court regarding the petition for habeas corpus under the California Racial Justice Act. I'm an incarcerated person and I'm required to sign for any legal mail. This is what I got from the appeal court.
Okay.
So I guess what I'm saying is I don't think you still have jurisdiction because I still haven't got any type of mail from any clerk telling me anything about my petitions.
It's my understanding that your Racial Justice Act petition is something separate than what we're here for.
It's not.
Let me look at the log.
Yes, Mr. Allen, which case he's referring to in terms of the last two numbers? And is he talking about a state case filed in the 5th District or in the Supreme Court? You have.
Your Honor, the last time I showed, you said, this is what I got from the Superior Court. This is the order from the habeas corpus that was filed in the Superior Court. You told me that it was denied and it would be coming in the mail. This mail log shows it came in the mail. Now, when I looked at the rules for the remitter, it says that the court clerk is required to send me a copy of the order, the decision, to something to let me know what's going on. This mail log shows I still haven't got anything.
Okay, stop for a second. Part of the problem is there are so many different issues filed and then appealed in various different courts. It's very difficult. We can't keep track of one issue before another issue is brought up. What I'm looking at is that assigned to Judge Stevens on March 25th, 2024 petition. She should have ruled on that. You said you got the order for that, but now at the same time, you're asking me about a remitter. When a remitter happens, you would get a copy from the court, not this court, but the court that you filed in that issues the remitter.
And that never happened.
Okay.
And so I'm objecting to these proceedings because I never got a remitter from the California Supreme Court also. And I have a letter here that says that they will put in the mail a copy of the order when it is filed. This is the only thing I've got from the Supreme Court. I've got no remitter, so I'm objected to these proceedings continuing because I don't know how I'm entitled to proceed.
I don't know what
Nobody's sending me nothing.
Mr. Allen, I don't know what it is that you're asking for. The attorneys at this point have stated that it seems to me that they agree that at this point I have jurisdiction to proceed.
You don't, because they don't know. They haven't mailed me anything. They said that the courts have issued decisions. Neither one of them have sent me anything. The district attorney requested copies of my CDC records under the Information Privacy Act. That is what the restraining order is concerning. That is also pertaining to this matter because remember I asked for a copy of the probation report. This is coming under under the Senate Bill 483. So you were required to follow the Judicial Council rules, which requires you to get a new probation report. So that's why I put in a copy for a probation report because it's required in these proceedings. And I'm allowed to challenge that probation report and the facts alleged in it.
Stop for 1 second. Let me address your concerns one at a time. The first concern you had, and we went over this before, was we believe that you get another probation report before I can proceed with the resentencing. Just answer, is that correct?
That is correct. According to Rule 4.1, it is.
Stop. Ms. Vasquez, do you agree with that supposition? And if so, are you asking me to order a probation report?
That has occurred in other cases, Your Honor. Defendants have requested that.
Okay.
It is under the court's discretion to review any post-conviction matters, so that would be an updated probation report based on
Fine.
whatever's occurred after.
I will order a probation report per Mr. Allen's request. You're shaking your head no. Now you don't want it?
No, the lady said you have jurisdiction. The rules of court require you to order this. That's not jurisdiction. It's mandatory that you order it.
She didn't say jurisdiction. She said discretion. I will.
You don't have discretion. You are required to order it.
Regardless, I'm granting your request, so we don't need to discuss it further. This matter, stop. This matter will be referred to the probation department for their report and update. So that's your first issue. It's taken care of. We need to proceed. Once again, agreeing that the court's going to have jurisdiction to proceed on your resentencing petition.
And I don't agree, because I have not received a copy of any of the court orders from the 5th District or the Supreme Court. Nobody has sent me anything. This attorney is saying that the court has made the decision. You can ask her yourself, has she sent me a copy of it? I'm telling you, this is the mail law. It doesn't show I got anything from.
Stop for a second. You're contradicting yourself. You want me to go forward with the resentencing. You are
No, I do
not going forward. Now you're saying that you're objecting to me going forward. I'm not going to go forward today until I get the probation report. I'm going to order the probation report like you want. I will put this on for a date where we do the resentencing. In the meantime, if there's any paperwork that you think you're missing, I will ask your attorney to send it to you.
Once again, I do not want this lady to represent me for the reasons that I stated in writing. I still have not received a response from a higher court about my reason for not wanting this woman to represent me. That's why I objected to continuing with this proceeding, because you are insisting that this woman represent me, and she is not competently, adequately advocating for my rights. I don't know how else to say this.
Okay,
Nobody is sending me any type of thing in writing so I can know how to proceed. I'm entitled to some type of remitter or order from a higher court. So can you look into why I'm not getting any type of anything in writing? This is what I got from the appeal court. 2 mailing pages. This is it. This is not an order. This is not a remitter.
You said that. Ms. Kelly.
Under 1172.75, defendant or an inmate can request counsel be appointed to represent him. There's no absolute reason that he has to have counsel represent him. He would like to proceed in pro per. We clearly are not moving forward on this case with my being part of it. I am hesitant to offer to get off of any case, Your Honor. I'm happy to represent Mr. Allen to the best of my ability. The best of my ability is that these proceedings do not reach the underlying plea. They reach resentencing on the B prior and any other sentencing choices the court has. The court has one sentencing choice other than LWOP, and that is to run the enhancement concurrent to the LWOP sentence. All of the matters that have been before the 5th District Court of Appeal and the California Supreme Court, I was able to determine they were concluded by looking at the court's docket. I have no information regarding remitters from either of those courts. If they had issued remitters, I would have seen them. So they're not bringing the matter back to the Superior Court. And that's my understanding of what a remitter does, is it returns the matter to the court. And none of these matters are being returned to your court. So I wouldn't expect to see
A remitter. Remitters usually happen when they send it back to us and tell us to proceed in some manner. Right now, they haven't directed this court to do anything, but both counsel agree that this court has jurisdiction to go ahead with the resentencing. Now, you want to be prepared for the resentencing, so I'll go ahead and order the probation report as requested.
It really helps when you know what things are, what they're used for, and the processes of the law.
You have a right to have counsel if you want it. If you don't want counsel and you want me to relieve Ms. Kelly and you represent yourself, I think that's not a wise move, but if that's what you want to do, you may do it. What would you like to do, ma'am?
I would like the court to ensure the integrity and partiality of the judicial system established under Standard 10.20, Subdivision B, as in Bravo, of the California Rules of Court, and inquire as to why either the Fifth Appellate District Court or the Supreme Court clerk has not forwarded by mail any response to the petitions filed in those courts, or why I'm not entitled to any type of reply by mail consistent with Rule 8.272, D as in dog 1, or 8.264, A1, or 8.528, B as in boy 1, or Rule 10.1000, A2, or Rule 8.540, A1, which all require the court. Shall is mandatory. They shall mail me something. I have not received anything.
Totally separate issue, Mr. Allen. And I'm going to say once and for all, this court cannot tell the appellate court what to do. If you need something from the appellate court, I know you know how to write them because you do it often. Write them and tell them that you would like a copy of the paperwork that you are requesting. I do not have the power to do that, sir. We've given you everything that we have. I asked you a very direct question. I'm trying to hit all the issues that you want me to touch on. One of which was the probation report. I've granted that request. You believe I have jurisdiction to go forward with the resentencing. I have granted that request and we will have a resentencing hearing after I get the probation report.
I did not say that.
Stop talking. The other request that you asked for is that counsel be relieved. I will relieve her if you wish that. Do you wish that at this time?
I just want to correct you. I did not say that I agree that you had jurisdiction to proceed. That is not what I said.
Okay.
I do not believe you have jurisdiction to proceed. That's why I said I object to this whole thing.
Okay.
I want to make that clear for the record. I want to make it clear. I want to get a copy of the transcripts after this proceeding. And I do want to try to, again, ask for a Martin hearing to relieve her as counsel so I can have her replaced with competent counsel instead of representing myself.
This matter will be set for a Marsden hearing. I'll order the probation report. A Marsden hearing will be in an afternoon.
Your Honor.
I know we've had Marsden. I don't know if there's been a significant change in circumstance until I hold the Marsden, and Mr. Allen is entitled to a confidential hearing for me to ascertain that information. So we need an afternoon where parties are available to do that.
How soon would the court like to do it? I think I'm going to have to do another remote. So if we could have 33 weeks so we can make sure that CDCR has that lined up.
So are you available July 2nd at 1:30?
July 2nd at 1:30. Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Marsden motion to be heard to see if there's a change to where we really need a full Marsden hearing. And I don't know if that'll be enough time to receive the probation report, but maybe we'll get an update at that time. And the court does grant Mr. Allen remote access to this court for purposes of the hearing on that date. If you bring me an order, I will sign it so it can be transmitted to the Department of Corrections.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, see everybody on July 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Will my transcripts be mailed?
I don't know if your transcript will be available by then or not. I'll order a copy of the transcript.
Thank you.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.